Good morning, world. Happy Sunday. Give me just a second. I got a bra on, so, and this particular shirt just kind of shows it all. Just with some pink color. So, gotta make sure. Anyway, any hootie. I love it. Girl on TikTok says that. Any hootie. I need to give her credit. I can't remember her name. I can see her face, but anyway. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone's weekend has been wonderful. Continues to do so over today. We went kayaking yesterday at a local park. I wanted to go onto the river, Weehewachee River, like I did last week, especially since I was taking one of my dogs, Aries. We didn't get to go there, but we went to a local park down the road from it. The reason is, one, shallowness of the water. Two, the river, you see right through the water. Clearly, I can see what's on it. I can see the sand. I don't need my water shoes, what have you. And at this particular park, it's more brackish, I guess. So while you can see, not very well, and I definitely would want my water shoes, but it's also not very shallow. It's not hugely deep, but there's no standing up if we were to fall out, of the kayak. So I was a little bit nervous at first. Actually, I was a whole lot nervous at first, and I was stressed out because I was not prepared for this particular water. Again, you have to, not again, I guess I didn't really say it, just preparing, mentally prepared, but also there were things that I would have, like my GoPro, for example. I put the little floaty handheld thing on it, and I don't know what I was thinking, because I cannot hold something and paddle my kayak, especially with Aries on it. I don't know what I was thinking. So I should have had it on my head or used the chest piece. I don't know if the chest piece would be right either, because you would get the paddle line in it, so it would have to be on my head. Yeah, so that's a learning process too. But anyway, still had a great time after the initial. My dog walked right off the dock, so I missed it. I had to go to the bathroom. Charles had her, and he said she just stepped right off like she was going to walk on water. And down she went, and I come back watching him pull her, swimming around, pulling her out of the water. It's funny. Anyway, I'm excited to be getting them out. Sadly, in their lives, I have not taken them out on my boat or to the water but a handful of times. And that makes me very sad, because there's no reason other than my own stuff, my own anxiety and nervousness and fear and things that I let control me. So this is one of the things that I put on my vision board this year, is nature with the dogs, because I've put it off. They're 7 and 10, so, I mean, they've been out. We do things. We have a yard, but like with the boat, and it's just been things I've been nervous and afraid of. But here's the thing. I'll say this, and then we'll get into our morning prep, morning mental prep. If you want things done, you gotta just do them, and whatever gets you to do them is what you need to do. For me, it is scheduling, calendar, vision board. What do I need to do to be happy in my life, to create meaning in my life, and things like that. And shit. Let me take a drink of this. I lost my train of thought. I did just kind of hop on here, kind of out of the blue. I knew I was gonna, but I had planned on, like, in the last half hour already being on. But that's what happens. Sheesh, I really wanted to tell you what I was gonna say. About doing things, about getting my dogs out and getting, nature with my dogs on my board so that I'm doing it is one of the things, Yesterday I almost gave up. I really did a couple of times, even before I left the house. Almost talked myself out of going because I was just so nervous. I didn't. I went. I had a good time. I feel better. Oh, what I was going to say. These kinds of things too, the underlying issue, if you will, partially is because even when I don't take my dogs, sometimes when I'm out in my Jeep, sometimes every time when I'm out in my boat, definitely now the kayak and the paddleboard, these are things that are like dreams come true for me that I didn't even know I had until I came to Florida and experienced the water and wow, and the things that we can, like, I still get this guilt feeling, this, what's going to happen? I don't deserve this when I'm out on my boat, especially. Like, I don't deserve this kind of feeling. And so this is something that I'm working on this year, is to get rid of that and to practice being more in the moment and enjoying it and understanding that not only do I deserve it, but I did work for it. You know what I mean? I worked for these things. I mean, the paddleboard and the kayak were given to us, but it's work paddling the dog anyway. 23. Yep. Today is the 23rd. Happy April 23rd. Happy Sunday. So yeah, I'm working on that. It's a very heavy feeling when and that's kind of what was happening yesterday, I guess. What's going to go wrong is where what's going to go wrong? But on a kind of a nihilistic kind of way. Although I wasn't having images of, us being eaten by large sea creatures or anything. So it's weird how the feeling is so strong. I got to get over that. These are things that I got to get over. So I know that a lot of that had to do with that also, that feeling. But as well as, and then you add to I wasn't prepared for that particular type of water setting. It was very nerve-wracking and stressful in the beginning. And my husband was so great and so patient because I get a little crazy. Things just start flying out of my mouth. And it's really just an expression of that stress. So I'm very grateful for his patience because I almost gave up and I thought for sure he was going to be like, fuck it, let's just go. But he did not. And we just kept going and it was great. We were out there for like 2 hours. Maybe a little more, but it was after 5, just after 5 when we started getting out. We left the house 2:30. So anyway, let's get our morning mental prep on and see what we got to open our brains up to today for April 23rd. I love this. I say this all the time. You can't pour from an empty glass. This is before I say this all the time, and this is partly where I got it from, but this is why I have to get out there and do things like getting on the kayak with my dogs, getting them on the boat more, getting out into the parks with my dogs, and when I say parks, I mean trails, Cruise Lake Park, but even the trails, because this fills my cup, it fills my heart. And I want to pour so much into everybody. I have to be able to be full myself, right? When you feel like you are running on empty, you are. Trust that and take a step back. Reset, soon, week or 2, I'll have my glasses. I can't wait because they're very different. Rest, heal, collect yourself. then reconnect. Only after you have refilled yourself will you be ready to dive back in and take over the world. This is going to be a text post. I can think of 2 people off the top of my head right now doing some hard stuff that they're sharing on Facebook that they need to understand. This is why. Because they want to pour into others too. They have others they have to pour into, and they're empty. Yep, going to be a text post. All right, let's see what the law of attraction has to say. Let's see. I got so much to do today. I'm feeling a little rushed because I got to get 3 hours of work done for Fund and Grow. Mostly because I want to make the money, but also because my email needs some work. Let's see what we got. But I need that money. It's not even in the... I want that extra money. But again, you can't pour from an... if you're, overwhelmed. And sometimes that's how it gets. Self-mastery can achieve spiritual results. Rosicrucians believe that the key to gaining the mystery of life lies in your personal power, and the source for all power is found within. With such mastery, you attain also strength, peace, and wisdom. The law of attraction works to help you achieve that mastery when you are attuned to the source. Harmoniously in tune with the universal spiritual laws, such as the law of attraction, you draw to you that which you need to further your spiritual unfolding. To study the Rosicrucian way requires that a person seeks truth, has an open mind, positive mental outlook, and clear aspirations for spiritual understanding. In other words, positive thinking and clarity of life goals can greatly impact the results you seek. I love this. Ooh, this might have to be something I read regularly. You have to write it out. I guess I'm partly Rosicrucian. I shouldn't joke. I don't really know. I've heard the name. I've heard of them. I don't really have much information, if any, about them. Maybe when I start reading about them, that might be different, but this is the way that I live my life. Seeking truth. I have an open mind. I have a positive mental outlook and clear aspirations for spiritual understanding. I don't know if they're clear yet, other than I know that in order to gain spirituality and spiritual connectedness and connected to source, I have to go within. It's not out there, other than things like kayaking and boating and hiking with my dogs and, getting back to nature. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This is so interesting to me because I don't know anything about the Rosicrucians. And it sounds very religious to me. So I often wonder then, sure, these are great initial ideals, but what's behind them? For this particular group of people, I don't know. I don't know them. I'm going to look it up. But, like Scientology, they have great initial, I'm going to call them taglines for that particular group of people, if you will, ideals. But then once you get in, it's kind of a whole different world. I'm open-minded, but leave the fucking children alone. Right? So, I'm going to seek the truth, always. Interesting. All right. Well, I won't keep you any longer. That is what I got for you. I did babble on initially in the beginning of the, live, so I'll stop there, and I'm going to go do my I ams and my gratitudes and my 10-minute writing dump and some other stuff today. Got a lot of things I want to get done today that are important, and I'm not feeling like I'm going to get some of them done. I feel like I need a 3-day weekend, like at least twice a month. Twice a month I could probably, maybe once a month. Maybe if I could manage a 3-day weekend once a month, but that's okay. That's quite all right, because I know I am working toward a life of complete time opportunity, time freedom. So it won't matter. My weekends will be every day. And when I say weekends, I don't necessarily mean just for play. There's a lot of work that I do on the weekends as well. Meal prep is something that I try to do. I've gotten away from, but I've noticed in the last month or so that it's important. I have to have breakfast. I have to have lunch. I definitely can't go without both. I could probably manage without lunch as long as I have breakfast. If I have lunch, I could go without breakfast, but I'm a breakfast person now. I can tell when I need that protein and that stuff to get me going. So things like overnight oats, something that you have to make the night before. They're super easy, but Anyway, peanut butter crackers. I'm not buying peanut butter crackers. I have real peanut butter and saltine crackers, which may or may not be, what have you, but peanut butter crackers. I'm going to make some up. I got protein balls, made those up yesterday. So anyway, that's why I say it's not just about the play, but it's because I need the play and I do work as well. And so that's a little unbalanced. So just because I'm working toward every day as a weekend day doesn't mean that I am not working. It just means I'm working then for myself and not for someone else. Right? That's a dream. That's a dream. That is a dream come true that I swear to God I will fall to the ground when it happens. I've envisioned it. And I do nearly fall to the ground with joy and tears, because it just is so. It's not just working for myself. There's so many things that represents and provides that I want. Like with it, that have to happen in my life for the bigger dreams, right? So I'm not babbling, but I'm gonna go do my items, my gratitudes. Thanks for listening, and I will see you tomorrow morning, 7:10, as always. And we'll be back on a 10-minute timer. The weekends I try to be a little willy-nilly if I'm gonna go live and not time it so much. But hope you got something from it. Hope it helped you. Hope it sparked a little something. That's all it needs sometimes, right? All right, I ams and gratitudes. I encourage you to do the same thing. Take 5 minutes, find 5 things that you're grateful for that happened in the last 24 hours or over the weekend. Well, here the last 20, whatever, it doesn't matter. Grateful, be grateful. If you do something recent and not just I'm grateful for my home, you actually get a little more in the feeling of gratitude, right? Of course, we're grateful for our homes. That does not mean that you cannot say that or use that as your gratitude list on certain days. I do that. There are some times where I really say I'm grateful for toilet paper. So, but I don't want, the idea is to find recent things that happened or that are happening or, to be grateful for, because it brings a current, strong feeling of gratitude. Like, I am so grateful for my husband's patience yesterday in the beginning. He was so patient. I just can't. I was stressed, crazy stressed. Anxiety was fucking high, off the charts. I just wanted to be done. I didn't say it out loud because I didn't really want to be done. And I knew if I said it, he would be right on board and just be like, okay, let's go if you want to. And I'm like, no, I don't want you. Nope, I don't want to go. So I'm so grateful for his patience yesterday when we first got started on the kayak and the board. What are you grateful for? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:10, right here, my Facebook profile. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know where you're watching from if you're watching. If you catch the replay. Alrighty, guys, go do your gratitudes. Do it with everybody, your pets, your spouse, your plants, your food in the morning, at night. Do it with your fucking kids. Do it with your kids. Do it with your kids. Do it with your kids. If you teach them how to be grateful now, man. Teach them how to be grateful. The way to do that is just to list your what are you grateful for, Johnny? What happened to today that you're grateful for? And listen to what they have to say. Every day. I wish we did gratitude. We did. Thanksgiving, for example, is not something that I celebrate because it's Thanksgiving, because I don't believe in it. I believe in it as a true Thanksgiving, gratitude day. So we would say, what are we grateful for? Things that we're grateful for. But I didn't practice gratitude like I have in the last 5 years. And I wish that I would have understood, because I would have done it with our kids, for sure. But nothing I can do about that now. I'm just telling you, from my experience, it's definitely that important. It's just that important. And if you do it now, every day, if you're teaching something that some people learn the hard way, right? Go do your gratitudes. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. And as always, peace and love.